welcome and thank you for joining me again. A little bit late of a start today, but we'll probably all agree the point is to be here as opposed to anything else. Still haven't got the Friday thing sorted out, but hopefully I will. The idea is to be here about 6 days a week. Try for every day, just so that if I have to miss a day, it's okay. There's Jaden, my longtime friend. Word up, my brother. So thanks again for coming and hanging out, because that helps me keep this up. Motivates me to make sure I show up, right? Let's see what we're doing for time here. Scratch and PPA, thanks for coming in. Hope Wes, my dear friend, thanks for being here. So yeah, last time we were here Thursday, we were doing 2.6 miles an hour. So within a few minutes, I'll get this thing pumped up to 2.7. I started around 2 and just pump up the 1/10 of a mile an hour every minute or so, just to kind of warm up to it. And then again, hopefully a few weeks ago, that kind of thing won't matter. Tony, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming back in again. Hoping by next week to get the Friday thing sorted. See if that's going to be a possibility. Oh, it's possible. So this is the funny thing, Hope Bus. A couple of people said that last week. Part of it could just be because literally I woke up and my hair is a little more pressed against my head than it usually is. Anything's possible, you know, but I don't know how much results somebody can expect in 10 days. That's why I don't bother measuring, right? I know everybody else in the world should take before and after photos, measure, weigh in, weigh out, and stuff like that, but this is not meant for, it's just meant to be a permanent lifestyle change, right? Walking every day, at least for a hour. The Booty Artist, thanks for coming in. Yes, thank you. I've got an abundant number of these t-shirts now. That was a big mistake. One of these days I'll tell the story about that in detail. Kristen Walton, my love, is in the house. Yeah, it's possible. Anything's possible, Hope Bus. Yeah, I don't know. Somebody said that to me the last time I was at home, though. So it makes me wonder if it's because of the lighting here, which, you know, I'm not using any particular lights for this. The iPhone 12 mini does a spectacular job with low light conditions, but I wonder if that's part of it. But I'm not like all clean shaven and my hair's not all full of glue and everything else like it usually is either. And hopefully Scratch and PPA's at 100%. It's been a couple of weeks now. For those of you keeping score, I had something going on in September, but that was due to work. I had inhaled an unreasonable amount of concrete dust and had a cough that chased me around for a month. Took me out of commission for a week, basically. Oh, I'm not sure, Jaden. So today I'm at home, right? Sometimes I'm not. Pardon me, I gotta... Oh, This treadmill doesn't have like a instant stop. No, I can't get it started again. I just dropped my towel. I went to go pick it up. Time to get this thing moving. So slow to get going and so slow to stop. It's a home treadmill. It's not like a industrial $2,000 treadmill or anything like that, but it certainly does work. So happy to have that. And yeah, so Jaden, about the green screen. So because I do tuber chat and things like that from different locations, I don't know why it is that I struggle with that so much. I might have to get another set of lights now. So now that I'm just about ready to start filming unboxings and stuff, we did finally get the table together at the last minute the other day. I will expect to do a lot of reviews. So I've got a brand new set of lights. They're not expensive or anything, but they're really cool. And I'm gonna show everybody. Once I set those up permanently, next week after they're unboxed, then I'll be able to have, like, sit there and play with the lighting until I get the green screen 100%. Because when we're lighting a green screen, you can see how dark my face is right now. And I'm not using a green screen. This is like my home behind us here. And you can almost see me touching the picture here. Anyway, so you gotta light yourself and light the background separately if you have a green screen. So in some cases, you're talking about the possibility of 4, maybe even 5 lights, because you want like a couple on you and a couple on the green screen to block all the shadow and stuff. You need a consistent green color behind you. But I'll talk about this, and when I get it set, once I got it 100%, then I'll show everybody how that's done. I have a really good green screen that Kristen bought me, and then I have just a green sheet type that I bought afterwards as well in another location. But I'll show everybody how that can be done easily. And that's true, Hopeless. It's not, see, I've done this before, right? In 2000 and I don't know what year it was, 9, I think. I did like go on a diet and did the smallest amount of home workout, very light, but still, and managed to lose 30 pounds in 2 months. So it's not only about that this time. I do need to lose some weight. That's the whole reason I'm here, but it's more or as well about energy in the day, not needing 8 or 9 hours of sleep, being able to get up in the morning, not laying around staring at the phone for 20 minutes before I get out of bed, that kind of thing. The Moody Artist uses green screens for their meetings. Yeah, there's a lot to it when you think about green screens, but it's like everything else. It just takes a second to learn. Once you get it set the way you want it, then you're set. And most people aren't doing a series of videos from 2 different locations, right? So if you're doing some kind of a video where it's a talking head video like this, where you're just sitting and either talking or doing interviews or something, you could have a green screen setup that never changes. Set the stuff up, leave it where it is, and that's it. But I have 2 different green screens, different environments, different lighting, and everything else. So I got to get both of them down. Once I get them both down, then I can say, oh, here's how you do it. And then thank you, Hope West. For anybody in the chat that didn't see it, I actually visited Hope West for the second time a month ago, and we filmed a video where I got a tour of what the Hope Bus actually is, and Vicky did a great job of giving that tour. You can see that on my channel as a video the last video that I posted. I'm still not at 2.7, so we'll get it up there now. At first I wasn't going to do that. I was going to just stay comfortable and, you know, whatever allows me to still talk without huffing and puffing. But it was almost like I said at the beginning of starting this thing, that, you know, doing a little bit makes you want to do more. And it's a little bit frustrating that now I'm spending the time doing it and I know I'm not going to get the results I want for a while, which is okay, because I said we're doing this forever, or for a year, not for next week or next month. But now I want to make sure that I'm moving up, right? I want to get the benefit of this. So thank you again, everybody, though, because you make it easier for me to keep it up and step it up. Hopefully everybody's new year is off to a good start also. So I got a couple of interesting things going on this weekend. Today, Tuber Chat will be at 2 p.m. Eastern. My goodness. I just wolfed down like breakfast and a Monster, of course, and all that, so I'm going to struggle for a few minutes. And then, so Tuber Chat will be in a while, a couple hours from now, a little bit less. But tomorrow, right after Tuber Chat, I have an interview with Have Cheetah Will View again. And I haven't done a lot of interviews in the last many months because of time constraints, but I have missed doing that. We say interview, but it usually just turns into a conversation. But that will be the second time that I've been on Have Cheetah Will View's channel, and he does a really thoughtful job with doing a different kind of interview or getting into different subjects than might be typical. So I'm looking forward to doing a lot more of those. A few people have asked, and I've had to deflect and defer for a while. But next Saturday, I'll be with the Hope Bus, with the Stock Explorer on their channel as well, doing the same thing. So I'm looking forward to those. It gives us a chance to talk about things a little more in detail than I can on Tuber Chat. Yeah, likely not, the moody artist. Oh, the Stock Explorer, there you are. Your ears must have been ringing because I was just talking about our interview for next Saturday. And again, I always say interview, it just usually turns into a conversation. Yeah, I was very much later today. I was up a lot later than I expected last night. So I just gave myself the time to sleep if I needed it. The important thing is to be here. Doesn't matter the time, really. Yeah, I put those live streams now. I forget if I made them. They're not unlisted, but they're not up at the top of my front page either. If somebody was to go to the front page, like I just got a sponsor thing again the other day. I want them to see the popular videos and stuff. And you know, these live streams here are not meant to get huge numbers of views. I don't certainly expect that at all. They're not meant to be anything that could even possibly go viral. It's meant more to motivate me than it is anything else, but we get the chance to talk about whatever anybody would like, whether it's YouTube or anything else. So I do have a playlist that anybody can look at, and these live streams are supposed to be unlisted after, because I don't want them all over the channel pages either. But if anybody did want to go back and see something or hear something that they missed or forgot, they could, if we talk about a few useful things. Oh, thank you, the Moody Artist. Yeah, notifications in the last 5 years, I've never seen them work the way they should, but I can tell you this as well. If you ever move the time for something that's already set, even like within a few hours, could be as much as 10 or 11 or 12 hours even, it wrecks the notifications. So got to really consider when you think you can be on, and try to stick to it whenever possible. Hopefully it's motivating, the Moody Artist. Actually, a couple people have messaged me now to say that they're going to be walking along. Gloria's Platter does it once in a while, but I forget who sent me a message and said that they're looking forward to it as well. Sam's Logs Trains and More, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. Jaden gets their notification. Thank you for that. Oh, you miss one day and you're, oh God, am I sweating now already? I figured that would happen. I don't want to skip a day. Yeah, we could, the Stock Explorer. I definitely want to try the go live together system in some way, but you could. That'd be a really cool thing to do outdoors. Oh, I see, the Moody Artist. Yeah, I'm pretty lucky. The Niagara Falls is only, what did I say, 15 or 20 minutes away from driveway to driveway when we park at the closest lot. So that's why I'm able to get over there and do a lot of live streams. I hope to do some of this there instead of the treadmill. I gotta be honest, I'm gonna knock this down by a point just because I can hear myself. You can almost feel your heart beating after a while. We'll try pumping it up again in a little bit. It's not even been 20 minutes. I knew I would feel like this by missing a day. I might have to, we'll have to see how the weather is. Maybe I'll have to consider doing an outdoor walk on Fridays. The thing is, I didn't walk at all yesterday. So when I look at my step counts, every day they're always around 7,000 or 8,000. Occasionally it hits 9. But I just haven't been as active as I wish the last long while. So these treadmill walks are supposed to help. And eventually, after a few weeks, we'll get over 10,000 a day, which is a decent start. Experience Africans, good to see you in the house. Oh, wow. Yeah, see, the Stock Explorer lives in Florida, so they can do things year round that we can't do here in Canada as easily. There you go, yeah. Sam says, as long as you don't change the time, the notifications seem to work. I might have to hop off here for a second and come back on. I've been lucky enough to been to Florida a couple of times. I was very, very young though. I had family in Daytona and Tampa. Once I went to Tampa just for pick up some nightclub flyers, if you could believe that. But okay, I gotta hop off here. I'll be back in a couple of minutes, so just bear with me. All right, no cheating. I had to take a couple of moments there, so we'll stay an extra couple of minutes to make up for it as well. Oh, thank you, experienced Africans. Oh, that'd be wonderful. Yeah, the Moody Artist. That's got to be extremely enjoyable. Yeah, it's weird, Sam's Logs, Trains and More. Even today, I think it's spitting rain again. And we're floating around the 0, 1, 2, 3 degrees, which, you know, I'll almost go out in a t-shirt for short distances and that. If I'm just going for... Oh, that's me blowing my nose. You've heard that once or twice on Tuber Chat as well when the mic wasn't muted. I don't know why it is. I can't blow my nose without making the trumpet sound. I can't do it though. And then thank you, Tony. Yeah, I appreciate every moment everybody can spend, even if somebody's coming by just for a quick moment. The other thing too, you know, a couple of people have let me know that occasionally they're on these streams just lurking in the background. What I didn't realize, because I haven't done enough on Twitch yet, is that on Twitch, you can see a viewer panel almost like our participant list on YouTube. The difference there is that it apparently will show you everybody who's watching, including lurkers, where on YouTube it doesn't. When you click the participant list, it only shows you people who've chatted within the last minute or so. Of course, we always have a view count. You can always compare how many people are in the chat compared to how many the viewer count says. I'm gonna knock this back down to 2.6. I'll have to try again for 2.7 tomorrow. I can not even speak. It's almost embarrassing because it's not a fast pace to be going at, and I'm still convinced that I used to do 3.5 kilometers or 3.5 miles an hour many years ago. We got to work up to that, so it'll be a bit of a process, I guess. Yeah, I do the same, the Moody Artist. When I visit different people's channels for premieres and live streams, I tend to be around longer these days than I used to. I used to very much count 16 minutes and then bounce, right? Now I try to stay longer periods of time, but I often come in, say hello to everybody, and if I'm working on the computer, then I just get a little more quiet, but I tend to be listening when possible. Most of video editing doesn't require sitting there listening to everything all the time. Of course, that's how mistakes are made if you rush, but you can always do a lot of the edits and then go back and double check for audio. So I tend to do that. Yes, experienced Africans. It's an interesting way to look at it. Raining in Dubai, also interesting. That must have been it, Sam. Must have been it. Yeah, a friend of mine I met up with last night just for a very quick second, and he let me know that he's been watching these, at least a couple. He sees them on, but is on his way to work actually. Maybe not today because it's Saturday. A friend of mine does a 9 to 5 standard gig now, or ish. And if I get on early enough, you'll be able to see. But it's interesting, you know, we never know who's watching. And I've had a couple other people who've messaged, hey, you know, I like this one thing, or I like that one thing, or they'll bring something up And often we can't remember who was in the chat on a premiere or live stream 2 weeks ago, but when they mention it, you're like, hey, wait a second, I don't remember you being there. Like, no, I was just watching. Oh, yeah, actually, what I should do is find a way to get the, what's it called? Music playing in the background. There likely is a way, even in mobile. I can see if I can get that happening. One of the things that I expect to do in the next little while is start making tutorial videos, but one of the things that I want to talk to everybody about in videos like that is audio. So I worked in radio for about 25 years, so it would be expected that my audio, for the most part, should be at least average, if not better than average. And so that's right from video number one. I'm not saying it's perfect every time, certainly not, but given what we're dealing with when recording, you know, I usually have a decent bit of audio, not distorted, not too low. But one of the things that I notice about a lot of videos is that people want to put background music in their video. I think it is far less important than most people think, but I'm not saying I'm right. I just think that. And one of the things that's detrimental is, what if you pick a song that a lot of people don't like? You know, that's a problem. But then the other thing is, my suggestion to everybody, when you put background music in your video, as soon as you get it to a level where you think it's just right or barely too low, knock it down a couple more points, a couple more decibels. Because I promise you, one of the biggest complaints is people not being able to hear the host over the music. So it's just a thought. Yes, softly in the music, in the background. There you go, Tony. And that would, like Tony's listening to music on his own, it seems, in the background as well. But in a video, we're in a live stream, yeah, we want it not too crazy loud, right? Night Star Beauty, good to see you here. Background music can just accent. And in the case of a video, gotta remember to talk about this. In the case of a video, sometimes you do a talking head video like this, or a good example would be a vlog where you're maybe outdoors or visiting different things. And while you're talking, you wanna lower the music. It's called ducking. The music ducks underneath the voice, right? And often you can do that softly. So instead of the music just dropping suddenly, you fade it down over the course of maybe a second. This is how we produce radio shows and stuff like that. But if you had some B-roll footage, like if I was walking around Niagara Falls, talking a little bit and showing some of the attractions, then I might put the music up to 3 points or 3 decibels while showing the B-roll footage and then lowering it again when I talk. That's an example, but you know, I don't know how that sounds when I'm talking about it now. A tutorial would be a good idea eventually. Experienced Africans, you always make me laugh. The J. Jordan, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. And yeah, I'm luckily able to keep this up, but with everybody coming in, it motivates me, because more so than the guilt of missing the treadmill is the thought of missing the stream. So I want to keep it up, right? Some of it hopefully is for the idea of inspiration, that somebody will see me doing this and then say, you know, something that they've been wanting to do, maybe they'll do, you know, or join me like a couple of people have talked about. Oh, so here's the thing, Tony. One of the things about audio or music especially is a copyright claim is not as nearly as bad as a copyright strike. In the case of a copyright claim, It usually is because of popular music. And what will happen is when you are monetized, the artist will take the money that's brought in from ads for that video. I have tons of copyright claims, lots and lots and lots. But that's from music that I actually worked on. So almost justifiable that I have it there. You don't want too many because YouTube says that they will demonetize or not monetize channels with too many claims. But it's different. The moody artist getting on the treadmill. Favorite place to get B-roll clips. So the Stock Explorer, when I say B-roll, what I'm talking about is stuff you film yourself while you're out. So if you think about a television show, like one of those cooking channel shows where they go out and visit different restaurants, then what happens is in between, any reality show does this, but in between the entertaining parts, they'll show a street sign or a building with cars driving by or something like that, some kind of attraction. If you film that yourself, that's B-roll footage. If you're talking about copyright-free clips, I try not to use any. I don't trust anybody, and here's what can happen. I don't want to instill fear, I just want to let you know, like, something that's a consideration. When you use copyright-free material, whether it's audio or video from any site, it is possible for other creators to falsely claim that content as their own. And YouTube doesn't know. They don't know that you pay for a service and use their clips. So filming yourself might be a better idea, or using a photo, cropping it a little bit, even like a royalty-free photo, cropping it a bit and doing a pan across it. Whenever the idea comes of using copyright-free or royalty-free video, I would always alter it in some way, especially with cropping, which means that you don't run that video in full frame. You have to zoom in, and usually if I was to do it, I would do it on a corner. So essentially, if you had a clip of something you wanted to show, you could zoom in on one corner of it and then zoom in on each of the other 3 corners, make 4 clips out of one, if that makes sense. I don't know how much this makes sense when I'm just talking about it as opposed to visually doing it, but you know, we have to do everything we can to avoid copyright, because if somebody wants to be really evil, they'll let you get a couple of copyright, how do I say, the copyright system is automated. So let's say somebody was falsely claiming a bunch of royalty-free video. What they could do is wait until their system says that you have 3 pieces of what is not truly their stuff, and then strike, 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 you're out. So I am paranoid and terrified of that kind of thing happening with all the time, effort, money, and other sacrifice that we make to get our content out. I don't want it shut down. The other thing too, I hope everybody's backing up everything that you have. I'm very lucky. I have hard drives and things for years and years, so I save at least 2 copies of everything. All the raw footage in case I want to reproduce videos, and all of the stuff that goes on the channel, so that if I had to lose a channel and re-upload, I could. Yeah, that's it makes sense, Tony. Yeah, YouTube would put a lot of copyright claims on those. You might even find that some of the videos are actually blocked from certain countries. I had a few videos that used to be okay, and then they got blocked. One of them, one that I can never put up, I got 2 that I can never post. One is Spaceman by Biff. I did what was the most popular remix that was played at least around our area for years. It wasn't great, but it was the most popular one, but I can't put it on YouTube. And I did a mashup that I thought was really good of Kelly Clarkson and another track. I think it's just called Stellar. And I can't post that either. So what I did was I put that in, I think on the stream that I did, where I was DJing on Friday nights for a while at this place recently, I played it in the beginning to see what would happen. And I forget for the life of me what's going on with that. YouTube now is tricking everybody too. They don't mean to. I say tricking everybody, but what they're doing is blocking a lot of content in copyright claims just from Russia. So you can, when you look at your copyright claims, if you get any, you can look and see, oh, if it's just one country or just one, you know, a few countries, it's okay. It's up to you whether that matters or not. It's when it gets blocked from most areas or North America, you might not want to keep it up. Yeah, anything's possible, the Stock Explorer. So here's the problem. Somebody like me might be a bad resource when it comes to the idea of getting people to do things. I'm a do-it-yourselfer. I always have been. I wish I wasn't that way. It's not the way to make money in the world, that's for sure. But I don't trust anyone. And, you know, I say that loosely. You know what I mean. Of course, there's people that I trust. But, you know, the problem is we don't know what things are going to be like years from now. And it's wonderful that everybody loves each other today. But that can change. And I've shown a little bit of that in the last couple of years on TuberChat. I had somebody who was a moderator, somebody who was very much involved with helping promote TuberChat in the very beginning. Somebody you would call a friend for sure. And they turned and went through and deleted all kinds of people because I had them as a moderator and I had to release everybody. And you know, I never would have guessed that that would have happened. Don Ray B, good to see you here. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, no, it's true, the moody artist. So if somebody's a moderator on your channel, what they could do if they wanted to be evil is go through all your comments and ban everybody, or go through a live stream replay and ban everybody that way. The problem is you wouldn't know if you didn't go look. And I don't think anybody goes to look at their banned people list before they do anything. I certainly wouldn't. So the only reason we knew is luckily TuberChat was strong enough at the time that Kristen started getting messages from people saying, hey, I can't get in, I can't get in. And they were some of our, you know, most regular entrance into the TuberChat live streams. So I knew something was wrong right away, and I went in and I'd heard a story like that before from the person who likely did that. So it didn't take long to figure it out. But you never know, and you know, jealousy plays a part in all of this. Some creators here in the chat right now might go on to have beyond 10,000 subscribers or more. And even between friends, jealousy can pop its head out. You know, if you can truly be the kind of person who doesn't care how much everybody else has, wishes well on everybody, even if they all had more than you, as long as you get what you want, I think that's rare. I think it's possible. And I think that what we have built, and what I mean is in the TuberChat community, is a lot of generous people where you probably have the best chance of finding people of that mentality, but it can't be everybody. There will be people who will get upset, especially when they've been on YouTube longer than you have, and you pass them in subscribers. You know? So it's not common, you know. Forgive me, today's a pretty negative conversation, I think. I don't mean to have that, you know, dominate, but that just comes down to me personally. But luckily I understood most of this before I started. I was on TuberChat, or on YouTube, for a couple of years before TuberChat started. So I had a bit of practice. I was able to see some trolling, see some jealousy, see some friendships bloom and then be destroyed. Not with so much with myself, but with other people. So I got to understand before we started. And that's why, you know, I put so much focus on generosity, family. People who don't like those words, especially generosity, will fade away very quickly. And not, you know, so we don't have to worry about that stuff as much as we otherwise might have. But, you know, as much as I'm talking negatively, there are people out there, I promise you, who will support you more than you ever would have imagined, right? And, you know, any of the moderators on TuberChat are an example. They're not, you know, there's a lot of other people that I could, you know, consider as, you know, adding as moderators, but I just don't, because we don't need that. I don't want everybody to have to sit there doing the things that moderators, you know, volunteer to do. There's a lot more fun, hopefully, to be had in live streams and stuff than worrying about that. But, you know, a lot of the moderators that you see in TuberChat or even here, most of them are the same, but these are all people who have supported me so much that I can't do anything but shake my head and ask God why. Why do I deserve this wonderful treatment from these people who I didn't know 3 years ago, right? Or beyond. And that hopefully is inspiring to everybody. I promise you, there's generous people out there. It gets harder. You know, I subscribe on TuberChat now to 4,000, to more than 4,000 channels. You can imagine I can't watch 4,000 videos a week or even a month. I can't even run 4,000 videos a month. So it gets harder to support everybody as much as we all wish. But as long as everybody's doing as much as they can, you know, one name comes to mind. Past Life Explorer is somebody who came in a couple of years ago. He's gone on to do extremely well with his channel and still continues to come around every few months just to say hi, just to support. You know, for sure he's still supporting people, for sure he's still gaining a few subscribers when he comes in, I'll bet. But that's just an example, you know. And then you look at the, you know, I go back to moderators. There's a lot of other creators, like the Moody Artist has been there for almost every stream I've done here and on TuberChat for the last several weeks, but they're a longtime friend as well. Sometimes it goes in waves, you know. As long as everybody's doing as much as we can for each other, everybody will be just fine. We see that. And the idea is hopefully some of us reach the goals that we wish. It can't be everybody, but, you know, as much as it can be. And then 3 years from now, 5 years from now, we'll still be giving each other the handshake, the head nod, to say, hey, look at us, we did it. And look at the people that have been helped along the way, you know. There's not, there's not, Don Ray B. That's one of the reasons why I'm here right now, is to try to squeeze out that extra hour of the day. I, for my whole adult life, have been somebody who requires 8 hours of sleep. And I wish I wouldn't. You know, there's people who function just fine on 5 or 6 hours. I just wish I could stretch it to maybe 7 instead of 8. So maybe a month from now that'll be the case, or a couple months from now. Oh, that's true too, yes. Yeah, we did have one of the cats time out a friend in a TuberChat live stream one day. They were playing, the cat touched Kristen's phone and literally timed them out. So I'll tell you a story. When I was very, very young, I understood right away the idea of management in, let's say, when you talk about celebrities, singers, actors, you know, things like that. And I understood at an extremely young age that if you could go out and help 10 people become millionaires, you would be a millionaire, because all you got to do is take 10 points off everybody, right? It's not going to hurt them, and certainly is going to benefit you. And not that I ever wanted to be a manager of celebrities or anything like that, or even a celebrity itself. The idea is still there. If you help other people get what they want, you cannot help but get what you want. But it has to be true. You have to truly be able to put other people's best interest in front of your own. I'm not saying I do that all the time. I'm not saying exclusively, certainly not, right? You know, we're all human, but you can try. One of the things, you know, one of these days I'll talk about it. Somebody asked me on an interview once, what are my top 5 books? Because I mentioned a couple. So one of them, probably number 2. Number 1 would be Think and Grow Rich. Number 2 would be How to Win Friends and Influence People. And it talks about how to take interest in other people's lives or situations or stories. You know, if somebody goes on vacation and there might be a part of you that's like, okay, well, good for you, you went on vacation. But there's probably a part in most of us that's a little bit jealous. Well, you know, I want to go on vacation. And this book talks about, well, a lot of things. It's a long book, but it talks about how to put other people's interest in the forefront of your mind, understanding how to truly get to somebody's heart or core being, let's just say. And if you can do that and really take interest in helping them, you'll get what you want. So Tuber Chat is an example of that. When somebody looks at that channel now and says, oh, there's 4,400 subscribers, we see there's members, we see there's super chats, things like that. But that's because Tuber Chat was meant to help other people grow their channels, to help other people get monetized, and to help other people get super chats and memberships and things like that. The tangible benefits are a byproduct of the core of what Tuber Chat is. Aztec, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. Gabriella Smarandaki, good to see you back. Thank you for coming in. Yeah, and thank you, Experienced Africans. You know, the truth of the matter is I do a lot less than somebody might give me credit for, right? A lot of people will say, Tuber Chat, you've really helped me. And I always appreciate the kind words. But the truth is, I just set up the system so that everybody could really help themselves. I do, of course, put channels on the screen, try to take interest in what everybody's doing, try to do a good job of promoting. But anybody who's read the book, or in my case, probably listened to it, because I listen to audiobooks more than actually read, but How to Win Friends and Influence People, could probably right away see, oh, I know this guy's read it. You know, with the way I talk and things. Oh, that was, yeah, that's true, Aztec. So Aztec, oh, God damn it. Pardon me. Usually you don't hear me talk like that. I'm busy reading the chat here. Aztec came from another channel. As a matter of fact, from one of the channels that I run. And he's been with us for a long time. And I forget that story, but you're right. So, treadmill's thin too. I can't like step even an inch to the side or I'll slip. Anyway, Aztec had come in and probably won't mind me saying, but has generously given super chats more than once. But because of that, and also is somebody who is, to say the least, neutral, doesn't get involved in the politics and stuff between channels so much, is able to sit on the fence and be kind of friends with everybody. So seeing that, what I did, some of you will remember, probably a year to a year and a half ago, I made a few videos that I played in the Tuber Chat live streams, and they were promos of a computer flying across the screen with somebody's channel on it. My computer at the time couldn't handle it, but I had made one of those for Aztec as a trial. You know, because I'm always wanting to try new ideas and things like that. But yeah, thank you for reminding me of that, because it was Aztec's channel that's inspired that idea, right? Their generosity. You know, and you'll notice I didn't make a video, not that it matters, not that it says anything, but I didn't make a video of my own channel to fly across the screen. Somebody asked me the other day, they go, do you ever put your own channel on the screen in Tuber Chat? I have, in the earlier days, a little bit, but now I just don't bother. So I do put my link in the chat, you know, and it benefits, of course, but you know, I won't put my own channel on there because it's not necessary. Anybody who would care that much to know, like, who is this guy, who's the host of Tuber Chat, would go look, you know, and that's really the most beneficial kind of connection anyway. But everything is done for a purpose. Everything. Almost every single thing has, you know, there's always two things going on. Thank you, Derek's Journey. Derek does fitness on his channel. And he does a thing called the Steps Challenge. The only reason I haven't got into that yet is because I just started this. But as well, I can't guarantee that I can do this on Friday. So I may not even be able to attempt jumping up in steps that day yet. Hopefully I'll sort that out, but we'll see. Oh, we didn't do our favorite now. I gotta try to remember to do this at the beginning of the streams. Got to make sure the robots are showing up. And look at that, maybe Streamlabs is not showing up. Oh, and I forgot to change the stream elements thing too. Hey Siri, remind me tonight at 7 p.m. to change the stream elements timer. Forgot that. That message is just a few characters too long, so it splits into two, but Streamlabs hasn't shown up today. I'll tell you this, that's the one that gives me the most problem with not showing up. But this is why I use 4, so that if one doesn't come and you've made promises, you can get another one to pick up the slack. I don't have to worry about it so much on this channel, but on Tuber Chat it matters. Nightbot needs to be there. There you go, Derek's Journey. He does a spectacular job of collaborating with other creators and motivating others. You know, for anybody that's tried to get 2 people to do something at once, you know how hard it is to get a group of people to do anything. But Derek's Journey seems to be able to do it naturally. So the Stock Explorer, it should be going up every day because I'm stepping the treadmill up. Now today I didn't do 2.7 miles an hour the whole time. I kept knocking it back down to 2.6 because I couldn't even speak for a minute there. And I know the situation will improve in a month, but for now, I knocked it down. It's been back up at 2.7 since the last time I fell off it. So, for a few minutes anyway. Well, I appreciate everybody hanging out because it gives us a chance to talk about things that I can't get into in Tuber chat because I'm trying to move on to channels and things like that, right? So it could be anything here. You know, we've talked about anything from vinyl records to YouTube stuff to social media to, you know, we can go on to anything at all. One of these days I hope to put a system in place, or I shouldn't say I hope to do it, it's just a thought, but something that would let the robot come in, like Nightbot, and drop a today in history line in the chat or something. Because if you were doing a general chat like this where the conversation can go anywhere, you can spark conversation with different things like that, right? But an automated system that does that every 10 minutes would keep the channel flow going or keep the chat going because there'd be something new to talk about every 10 minutes. It's an idea. I haven't discovered how to do that yet, but to be honest, I haven't spent like an entire day looking into getting it done. I wonder if I could get that done. Yes, that's true. I do that all the time, Tony. Yeah, I do use Siri for that. Oh, the Moody Artist. Sorry, did I miss that? Yeah, all the music from the background here is on the Thrive Together channel. I don't know if I have a link here for it or not. I thought I did. Maybe Stream Elements is dropping it or something. I'm pretty sure it's there. But all that music can be used. So I own all of that. It was ghost produced, but I own the rights, and I didn't put it on YouTube until it was published legitimately. So it's on, you know, Spotify and Apple and Google and Amazon and everywhere. Deezer and whatever all the other ones are. Watch time hours, Gabriella, yeah. That's something we all got to work on. One of the things that we talk about in Tuber Chat is the fact that you can swap playlists with other people. So they will run a whole playlist of your videos if you will run a whole playlist of theirs. Most people will do it. All of our moderators, almost every moderator on Tuber Chat is monetized now, but they'll still do it. And swapping playlists is still beneficial, even to monetize channels, because first of all, you're starting a friendship with somebody and trading favors, but also because when somebody runs a playlist of your videos, they're running every video from beginning to end, and that can pump up the retention averages on your whole channel. Oh, there you go. Yeah, thank you, the Moody Artist. The Office is almost finished. Are you talking The Office as in work, or are you talking The Office as in one of my favorite TV shows of all time, which is on Netflix? You know, that show is better the fourth time around after you realize that, oh gosh, what's his name now? Oh, why can't I remember the guy's name? He's an older guy in the show. I watch it all the time. I fall asleep to it sometimes. Oh, I can't believe this. I talk about The Office all the time. What's the guy's name? He sits in the back corner. He's an older guy. Oh, somebody knows his name. It's gonna come to me as soon as somebody types it in the chat. Just his character name is what I'm thinking of. I would much rather... No, not Kevin. Yeah, Kevin sits in the other back corner. Creed. Creed is his name. Creed Bratton. Creed is... he actually plays himself in The Office. He was from the Grassroots, which is a band from back in the day, and he's a solo artist now. But it's so funny after you've watched The Office, if you like that show, which I love it. I love mockumentaries. But when you watch that show and you go back and watch it again, realizing that he's playing himself, oh my goodness, is it so funny. It's so funny to me. Yes, thank you, Jaden. Yeah, Creed was it, yeah. No, I can't remember. I've watched that show too many times. That's one of those things where, like, so I watched it years ago. It's so funny because I said to somebody after I discovered it, I was like, oh, have you seen The Office? And they're like, yeah, like 4 years ago. And now that's like another 6 or 7 or 8 years ago or longer. I can't believe how old that show's gotten, but it is one, like I said, I've either fallen asleep to or used to watch when I, before YouTube, long before I was on YouTube. If you already watched someone's videos, does it benefit to watch them again? Likely not, and here's the way you could tell. So when you watch somebody's video, especially on a computer, but it should happen on mobile as well, you'll see a red line under the videos that you've watched. Until those red lines disappear, which seems to be a year now, it's not beneficial. But I would much rather suggest that everybody get a new friend to swap their playlist than swap the same one twice. Not saying you can't, I just think there's so much more benefit in getting a new person, and you can share. So as opposed to the idea of, hey, will you run my playlist another time? Or if somebody says that, you can say, well, it's better for you if I get somebody else to do it, but here's a list of 3 people that I've traded with. They'll be willing to do it if you message them. Almost everybody's on Instagram or Twitter or something. Oh, The Office in the house. There you go, the moody artist. Yeah, oh, lots of people will do that. You know, I promise you this, every corner that can be cut, people ask me, you know what it's like? This is how I describe it. You know when you look at you're standing in front of somebody or talking on the phone, and somebody says like, oh, I heard it's supposed to rain tomorrow. So you open up your weather app and you look. You're like, oh yeah, mine says 70% at 3 o'clock. What does yours say? And it's so funny to think about like that. What does it matter? You know, it's probably going to rain, or it might, right? And we're always looking for a better, easier, faster answer. So if somebody says, oh, mine says it's going to rain tomorrow at 3 o'clock, what does yours say? We're hoping that theirs says it's going to be sunny all day. So then we could say, oh, maybe mine will be wrong. Maybe it'll be sunny, right? And even here in YouTube, a lot of people will message me questions about how to better swap playlists with people. So the truth is, it's very basic. You just run a playlist of videos for somebody, they run a playlist of yours. If you do that, I promise you, magic will happen. But there are always going to be, you know, we always want to do something in an efficient way. So I wouldn't blame anybody for that. If anybody was like, is this the best I can do? Is this the best way? That's a valid question. But if it's a matter of faster or easier, you know, we've watched hundreds, if not 1,000 or more channels get monetized now. So if that's the goal, or a goal on the way, that's got to be good enough at a point. So if somebody was to ask me, do you want to swap playlists again? My answer is always the same. There are lots of people in Tuber Chat willing to do it. You can talk to any of our moderators, and they will, first of all, probably do it. Secondly, they'll give you the same answer I will. Yeah, likely not. So the other thing too is that myself, Moz6510 Models, some of our moderators, Two Pineapples is a longtime friend, have done extensive experiments about these things, right? Running playlists like crazy and measuring the results. And it's insisted that if you run a playlist more than once while the red lines are still there, it won't count. Now, in the spirit of wanting to cut corners, there are some creators that will say, oh, just clear your history or clear your browser and the red lines disappear. But I believe that Google's system is smarter than that for now. And again, it's something that I just won't do, right? So if you think about this, not that it matters, I'm making more of a big deal about it than it needs to be, but as the host of TuberChat, I can never cut a corner. I can never do one thing wrong, because I promise you there are people watching waiting to catch me and bust me for anything that they can. So when I talk about the idea of swapping playlists and saying I just don't do it, that's fine. And hopefully people take inspiration in that, right? An idea is when you see that TuberChat now is a fairly strong and solid channel, if you want a channel that is as strong and solid as that, then the way that I describe exactly what I do all the time and have for 3 years now is exactly how to get exactly that. And everybody could do it faster than I did now. I'll tell one more story and then we'll think about wrapping it up here, because I wanted to stay an extra few minutes, right? So when I started on YouTube almost 6 years ago now, 5.5 years ago, I started with another channel, not my own. I ran channels for other people before mine. And the very first channel that we've started that now has over 20,000 subscribers, it took 6 months to get 100 subscribers. And I wasn't part of the small YouTuber community. There was no growth streams in my life. I wasn't friends with a lot of the people that I'm friends with now because I hadn't met them yet. So it took 6 months to get 100 subscribers on that channel. And on the day that he got the 100th, he had to sit on the phone with a friend of 20 years for half an hour, literally begging for them to click the subscribe button. And we've come a long way. So now anybody would look at TuberChat and say, oh, you've got 4,400 subscribers, but it took you 2.5 years, or close to 3 now. Almost anybody could do it faster if speed was the goal, right? So it's just to say we've come a long way. We see a lot of channels that are doing really well. And you look at how many channels have come through the TuberChat family that have long surpassed me. Doesn't bother me one bit. Truly, I'm happy for them. And luckily, because we're already friends, and I know that a lot of these creators are generous people, probably all of them, they're all willing to share their knowledge as well, which is great to see. So I know that's another side note. I'm going off on tangents again and everything. But you see what I mean? We've come a long way. When I started on YouTube 5.5 years ago, it took 6 months to get 100 subscribers on one channel. TuberChat got its 1,000, I believe, within 6 months, and that could be not accurate. I'd have to go back and look. I can't remember if we had 600 or 800 before we did our first live stream, because I was hammering lots of growth streams in places like Hoops Family Network and Vern and House of X and, you know, a bunch of others, Brown Girl Bella and Be Amazing Sylvie and all these, right? But, you know, people can do all this stuff faster than ever now, so. And then Dave's Who Reviews, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. And that's it. It never changes. The Moody Artist. Somebody actually, I think, if I recall, a couple of weeks ago came in and said, I can't believe you're doing it exactly the same. It never changes. When I've seen other channels that are similar that have changed and, let's say, no longer are bringing in the audience that they were while TuberChat continues to slowly grow, I say it's because you changed the program. When people come to TuberChat, they want what they want. They want what I've been doing the whole time. They don't want different, they don't want more, they don't want less. That's what everybody expects. You just do the same thing, you know? So anyway, thank you everybody for the time that you spent. I really do appreciate this because you keep me motivated. There was no way I was going to miss this stream today. And luckily that got me on the treadmill. That's the truth of it. And then I'll be back tomorrow. Tuber Chat starts in just under an hour. So hopefully we'll see most of you there. Bye-bye, everyone.